Selamat pagi, saya senang berada di sini. I am between lunch and you. Jadi cepat-cepat saga. That's all Indonesian that I could do today. But I tried. Thank you. So, we've had a very fruitful sessions in the morning. The panelists and the speakers have spoken about the impact of marketing, how it is happening, what are the various aspects of marketing. So what I'm going to do over the next 10 to 15 minutes is give you a quick overview of trying to summarize the sessions that happened in the morning and why it is important, the various aspects of the discussions that have happened, and why it is also important that we keep pace with the change that is happening. The world is changing. The world is changing very fast, and as we know, as you can see on the slides, the entire population around the world, 5.64 billion people are online today. There's about 68% of the population, and then we see there are more people who have mobile phones. And then there are people who have digital access, which is about 78%. The digital ad spends have grown to about $786 billion. This is an incremental CAGR increase of 20% in the last decade. And 77% of those spends are digital. And more importantly, the two numbers on the side that you see, social and video, 250 and 200 billion. Do you know when social started from advertising? Less than 10 years back. Video started less than 7 years back as the true form, and it now occupies 60% of the ad spend. And that's the speed at which we are growing. And it's marginalizing the spends that were there in the traditional media. 50% of the population lies in Asia. Shanti spoke about, in her presentation, the importance of Indonesia, the growing market. But what that means also is very importantly, is that the population is getting ready for these advancements that are happening, which is more to do with AI, because it becomes easier for consumers to use it. Also what is happening is, because AI and predictive, etc., is starting to change the scale at which the transformation is happening, a lot of the marketing organizations, like the example here of Mondelez, etc., are starting to invest in AI as a platform for themselves, for productivity, for marketing, and more importantly, for marketing. So what it leads to is the change that is coming. The short form video, as we know, which started only about 6 years back when TikTok started, but it took a couple of years for it to become mainstream, has taken the world by storm. Social media has also shifted. It was more about awareness. It's now bottom of the funnel, discovery, sale. And also, the scale at which all these changes are happening still is rooted in mobile. We cannot forget that 78% of the population uses digital on mobile. And that is very important for us to remember. And therefore, this change, the speed at which the change is happening is only getting fast-tracked. We also saw that in the first panel, when Ibu Vido was talking about the speed at which the change was happening. It used to take decades earlier. Now it's only happening in few years and maybe within a year. And within social commerce, the purpose of social media has changed to social commerce. E-commerce is getting integrated into social. And that is driving a majority of the usage that is happening around the world. Retail media platforms are starting to emerge. And I can assure you, if you are not already looking at retail as the next big opportunity, retail media, it will be a miss. What we thought of social media 10 years back, what we thought of video 5 years back, so retail media is happening today. And in the next 2 to 3 years, it will be the mainstream media for all kind of omni-channel discovery and sales. And that is the speed that we need to catch up on of integration of e-commerce into social. But while all that is happening, the data privacy and measurement challenges continue to exist. Only 32% of marketeers believe they can measure the spends. That is a big challenge, but that has always been the challenge. This number used to be in the 10s and 20s till couple of years back. This will increase because of the data, predictive AI, etc., the measurement. It will improve, but the privacy laws around that, till about 5 years back, just before COVID, nobody in Asia, to be honest, used to worry about privacy. Now we have local laws based on GDPR, etc., and that will also get fast-tracked. The measurement ROI will also get fast-tracked. So if you are looking at the session that was happening earlier about ROAS versus what should you be doing, it is very important to look at how that will get integrated into every part of the media spend. Earlier, it was not measurable, therefore it was not happening. And the whole move from third-party data to first-party data to zero-party data is going to happen. And I think that is going to be the most important change for advertising and marketing and for media, because you will start to share that data. And the more you share, the more important it is to be aware of the privacy and the regulations around that. The zero-party data will enable a seamless journey for the consumer between platforms, publishers, and media houses. And that is the future. We truly believe at MMA, it's going to happen in the next 18 to 24 months. So if you are not doing it today, you have to start working on it. It is, I think, the most crucial aspect for marketeers to invest in. From a global scale, if we just summarize it down to Asia, what we are looking at is mobile only. It is still a mobile-first market. Asia, you cannot ignore. What we are also seeing is the whole growth of super apps. It started with WeChat in China, Line, Gojek, Grab, etc. And they are no longer just apps for the purpose. It's no longer about a transportation app for Gojek and Grab. It's no longer about WeChat for messaging. They are truly a channel for commerce. They are channel for omni-channel presence. And they facilitate a lot of that integration. And brands have to integrate themselves into that channel. This happened in China about 7 to 8 years back. But we believe the rest of Asia is already there, but it was only going to get fast-tracked in the next 2 to 3 years. So historically, if you look at social media spends were almost zero 10 years back, it's 250 billion now. Video 6 years back was almost zero on digital, it's about 200 billion. This is gonna be the next big thing. You will have to have social commerce as part of your spend strategy. How you integrate that, how you channelize that is going to be very important as we move forward. The next thing that you maybe want to keep an eye out for is the new media mix. So what's happening on connected TV? What's happening on gaming, podcasts, audio? These are the new media platforms that will become integral for every marketing media strategy. It's not prevalent, it's not mainstream, but as we heard since morning, it only takes a few months or maybe a year to become mainstream. So you need to plan this for your strategy, for your marketing strategy for 2026 and going forward. If you are doing your working plans, please keep this in mind. Connected TV is going to be an important integral part of the thing, whether it's Netflix or the local channels, whatever the OTT channels. The next thing is gaming, whether it's in-gaming or branded gaming. It is starting to emerge as one of the mainstreams. There is about $1 billion worth of in-gaming advertising that's happened in Asia in the last quarter. $1 billion. It's not small. In China, 67% of that is actually happening in China. So what you also have to be aware of is OTT spends is already about 56% by the turn of this year. So it represents a change. It represents a flux in marketing, right? If all this change is happening, how do you keep at it? There are budget pressures, we all know. We have to figure out what's the best way to get brand versus performance. Though I personally believe there is nothing called brand versus, brand as performance. Because if you don't make brand, you don't get performance. And if you get performance, you also make your brand. But the whole mandate of innovation and commerce needs to be integrated. And that's the new change. That's the new thinking that needs to be adopted across all the strategy that you're doing and thinking through that strategy as you move forward. What's also going to happen is social commerce, as I said, at a global scale, but if you tone it down to Asia and then to Indonesia, is going to become very important. We've seen that advancements in China and Korea. We've seen the regional integration of some of those through super apps like Grab, Gojek, and others. And now it is going to be seamless extension from social to commerce, which is a one buy, because wallets are integrated into that. And therefore, it becomes seamless from an integration perspective. And also, this entire influencer community is going to get changed to creator community, because authenticity is going to be very important as we go forward. I personally believe influencer economy is at peril. The consumers are way smarter than what we believe, and they understand that authenticity needs to be the key driver, and therefore creator economy is going to overtake influencer economy. And that's something that you should be mindful of, because AI can enable any creator sitting anywhere in the world to create the best world-class video and commercials. And therefore, it doesn't matter whether you have a big influencer or a big marketing budget. It can be overtaken by anybody. So brand accounts are starting to develop, and more of them, smart chatbots. Communities are going to be driven by creator economy. And also what we are looking at, the whole aspect of rewards and loyalty is going to become big. So moving forward, what does that mean for us from a framework perspective? It means we will have regulations. They will be rising. When we say that, it means we need to have a better structure on data protection within an organization, within our partner group, within our alliances, both marketing and media. We need to have awareness on privacy. It's a growing concern, and zero-party data is going to become very important. So when you're looking at any of your marketing campaigns in an omni-channel world, that will be the key driver as you move forward. So discovery, a seamless journey will be discovery, research, purchase, and loyalty. And that, when it comes to these new changes, whether it's super apps, whether it's social commerce, whether it's driven by creator economy, it has to have a seamless path. And that seamless journey will only be validated when the consumer realizes that it is for their benefit. The community, the messaging community, whether it's the local platforms or the global content, we've been entrusted with a lot of global content so far because of the platforms that we use. But there is a lot more of the local content in different districts, in different states of every country that's going to become mainstream. That's why we are saying the creator economy is going to become big. And therefore, the grassroots voices for that will help drive what we believe is the next growth of content. And content will yield media, which yields advertising. True impact will come when brands localize the content, because that's where the authenticity and connectivity, or the connection, both emotional and otherwise, will be built. So a lot of that, what we've seen since morning, what we've heard, what I'm talking about, is driven by technology. Marketing and advertising increasingly is technology based. Creativity still is very important. Storytelling is what you need to have because you need to have conversation with the consumer. You need to have an emotional connect with the consumer. And we need to orchestrate experiences at that intersection. This, we believe, is to help design the campaigns that will yield the best results. And we've seen this in the past. If you do not adapt, you end up fading. These are examples that you can see. The media industry, from CDs to iTunes to Spotify, whether it is blockbusters going out of business, whether it's in the telecom business, Nokia and BlackBerry giving way to Apple, retail and commerce, the biggest players, Alibaba, Amazon, are starting to give way to the new, are starting to take away from the established Walmarts and others. And also in transportation, we've seen the ride-hailing cab rides. Do that. That is the change which we all know. I am not giving you something new here. But that is the change that has helped adapt and adopt the new change of advertising and marketing. So to kind of summarize, the strategic imperatives that I will leave you with on the screen is data and AI, very important, zero party. Look at AI's integration into your data strategy. Look at your strategy with an aspect of having regulations and privacy around it. Make sure that you are putting the consumer at the center. Again, not something new, it's obvious, but obvious needs to be stated sometimes. People tend to forget that in the day-to-day business. It is very important to adopt, to try and test some of these learnings, whether it's the new media channels, the marketing flux, the budget, etc. And also, very importantly, all marketing needs to have an course on their skill development, because marketing and advertising, as we move forward in the next 3 to 5 years, has to have a new skill set. It's going to be driven primarily by AI. And collaboration. With zero-party data, that collaboration is going to be very important. MMA's role is to help facilitate all of that as a catalyst. Our purpose with the new branding of Marketing and Media Alliance is to ensure we keep on building those insights, bringing these kind of events, research, data to you so that we can help build that network and connections for the industry and provide that advocacy. So with that, I think I'm done. I will finish on time so that you can have lunch. But I do hope you look at this and understand the speed at which we are working on, the speed at which the change is happening, and you incorporate that speed into your business on a small test and learn basis, but more importantly, at a strategic, holistic basis of what elements you want to be part of. I don't think so you have the luxury of leaving any of that out. Because if you want to succeed, we need to, if we all need to succeed, we need to adapt to that change. Otherwise, unfortunately, we will be left behind. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a good lunch and the rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rohit. We'd like to take the time to take a photo, sir.